Assalamu alaikum and welcome back. Let's try to understand the structure and content of Surah Al Fatiha. The Surah Al Fatiha has 7 verses. We will divide that into 3 portions: the first portion, the last portion, and the middle portion. First portion, the first 3 verses, where Allah is trying to introduce Himself. He calls Himself as the Lord of the worlds, earth, and heaven. He defines himself as the most beneficent, the most merciful, Rahman, Rahim. The English language, this is the best that they could do to translate these words, but that's definitely not enough. Basic translation of it: Rahman's mercy is for the believers and for now. Rahim's mercy is eternal and is for entire creation. And immediately after this verse, he also says that I am the master of the day of judgment. He kinds of warns us that do not take my mercy for granted. I will be also judging you on the day of judgment, so be prepared for it, and I'll be just. That's where he ends his introduction. And the last portion of verse 5, 6, 7, it's humanity's prayer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, asking for guidance, asking us to guide through the straight path and lead us towards the paradise. That's the prayer of humanity. Verse number 4, which is the middle part, it has 2 sections. One says, we worship only you, and the next part is we will ask help only from you. Basic translation. The first part, when we say that we worship only you, it comes immediately after the first 3 verses where Allah's introduction ends, like giving us affirmation that we accept you as our Lord and we are your slave. And the next part of it, where we say that we will ask help only from you, and immediately after that the humanity's prayer follows, verse number 5, 6, 7. That's the connection between that element and the next 3 verses. Now if you see beautifully how Allah has created this verse 4 like a bridge between the first portion and the last portion, which is like a bridge between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and humanity's prayer. If we look at Quran in a bigger picture, Quran itself is a bridge between Allah and humans. And subhanallah, how beautifully Allah has tried to structure this small surah, giving us a flavor of the entire Quran. Now talking about the content of this surah, like Quran itself, it has 3 basic classifications: guidance by do's and don'ts, guidance by stories and narrations, and guidance about afterlife. This has all the 3 elements of it again, and that is how Allah is trying to give the entire flavor of Quran, or you can say Quran in a nutshell is Surah Al-Fatiha. I would like to leave one small exercise for all of you. In Quran, Surah Al-Fatiha has some connection with Surah Al-Baqarah, and Surah Al-Fatiha has also some connection and similarities in pattern with Surah An-Nas, which is chapter number 114. Try to read the Quran, go back to these chapters and see if you can find the connection and similarities between these surahs. I'm sure you will definitely able to do it, and if you need some help, reach out to me, and even if when you figure it out, please let me know by giving some comments or call me or text me.